All right. Well, live. Jaxon, how are you, man?
Hey, brother. I'm very well, besides lockdown. How are you?
Same position, mate. Bit of a shit go at the moment, mate, but it is what it is. I posted a few weeks ago on Instagram that I wanted to get this podcast up and running, and you're one of the first people who messaged me and were keen on jumping on, man. So it's only fitting that you're here for episode 1. So thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate you having me on, man. Like, I look up to your content now, and you put out nothing but real stuff. I think your podcast's going to go well. So, yeah, congratulations.
I appreciate it, man. Now, for the people listening who don't know who Jaxon is a personal trainer, model, influencer. So you're a busy guy, man. So how'd you get started in all of it? Like, did you start off with the personal training first?
Yeah, I started out with the personal training, bro, and then just wanted to transition into online, basically because, you work for yourself, you're your own boss, you work from your phone, you can work anywhere in the world, anytime, you can dictate how many clients you have, you cater for the whole world, not just your suburbs, you don't pay rent and overfees at the gym. The list literally goes on, man. So it was one of the best moves I ever made, transitioning to online coaching.
So did you spend much time doing the face-to-face training or?
Yeah, man. I was like anyone that starts out, just did my certificates and then probably PT'd for 3 years face-to-face in various gyms. And it just got to the point where it's like, how much money can you make for the amount of hours you're putting in? Do you know what I mean? And then you'd always get cancellations of clients. And I don't know, man, I was just thinking outside of the box, and it's like, it's okay to do, but it's like you're always just going to be on that level if you do that.
Yeah, and I know when you train clients in gyms, you got to pay rent to the gyms. Is that right?
Yeah, bro. So I was literally paying $400 every week just to have me as a personal trainer in the gym. So if you do the figures, you're taking in $400 every week if you're working your own business. It starts to add up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you have quieter weeks as well, then obviously you still got to pay that $400. Yeah. So it's like floor space.
Yeah, bro. So like some people, they literally don't even make money. They're just covering their rent.
Did you ever get into boot camps and things like that, like outdoor fitness?
No, I've never really done that, man. I don't know. I've always just been kind of specific with the one-on-one, and then I don't know. I wanted to transition online because, as you know, maybe yourself, like 90% of it's nutrition. So even if you do these boot camps and slam them to the ground, if they're not eating the right things after you go slam them in a session, it's not going to mean shit.
Yeah, mate, that's a very good point. So, okay, so you transitioned to online. So how do you find that? Training clients remotely is probably more difficult than it would be with that face-to-face interaction. Do you keep in touch with them regularly? Like, do you have weekly calls set up, or how does that work?
Yeah, bro. So I do it a bit different than everyone, pretty much every other coach does it online. I don't do this email shit and, once a week message them. I just don't believe that's enough attention to the client to actually help and support them and make them feel like they're worthy. So I basically check in with my clients every day, literally every day. And that doesn't mean like we change something. It just might be, how was your workout? Maybe sending them a quote, bit of motivation. But every week, once a week, that's when I'll do a proper check-in where we'll look at their photos from the previous week. We'll go over how they feel and some questions. And then based off all their feedback and how they look, I'll make adjustments for the following week.
At the moment, online training would be extremely beneficial, man, with all the rules and regulations around the country, no face-to-face training. And I'd imagine a lot of trainers at the moment are struggling. They're relying on that sort of face-to-face contact and including outdoors. So you're up in Queensland, so I'm not sure what the rules are up there, probably similar to what we've got in New South Wales. But, man, I imagine that industry at the moment as a whole is going to be struggling.
Yeah, bro. So I believe, I don't know for a fact, but I believe the PT still have to pay their rent right now, even though they can't be in the gym, which is just bullshit.
Well, hold on. So are the gyms even open? The gyms are closed, aren't they?
Yeah, they're closed, but I think they still have to pay their rent just like the gym owners do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's chaos, man. And I don't know, like this is another reason why I do what I do, because situations like this, you're literally fucked.
Man, it's the same with shopping centres, man. You got these little stores that set up in the shopping centres, and obviously they can't open at the moment, but yet those shopping centres still charging them rent every week or month. It's just putting people deeper in the hole.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I don't think it's going to get any better, to be honest.
No, not for a while anyway. It's mate, it's chaotic. So you're doing that, then you transition from that into modelling.
Yeah, so to be honest, a lot of people ask me how that come about. I don't actually really know. It just kind of, I don't really know, man. Like it just, as my following grew, a few like companies, I suppose, tried to reach out to me and they were like, oh, do you want to like wear our stuff and be the face of it? And it just, one thing led to another. And that's literally how it happened. It wasn't like, okay, I'm doing this and then the next day I'm modeling. It was more of like a transition thing, and just slowly as the following grew and you get seen more, the exposure and that, the more companies that came on board.
Man, you know what? Before you reached out to me about jumping on the podcast and about a few of the posts that I made, man, I jumped on your page and I thought, fuck, man, I've seen this guy. I didn't know where, but I'd seen you somewhere. And then I went through some of your posts. I'm like, man, so have you done work for Culture Kings? Is that right?
Yeah, man. So I pretty much do, I do probably a fortnightly thing for them as shoot or something. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I think I've seen you. I mean, look, a lot of people who may not know you by name or know much about you, but they've seen you somewhere. So what are you at on Instagram? Like, was it 160K you've got on Instagram?
Yeah, I think it's at 155 at the moment. But, as you know yourself, once you get to that ballpark, it's not even about getting more followers. It's just about putting out good content and just being authentic.
Man, it's about engagement too, man. That's a big thing. Like, I'll jump on someone's page and they've got, 200, 500,000 followers, and their comment section though, man, is like empty. There's like 5 or 6 comments. I'm like, man, what did they buy their they buy their following, or fuck, what's going on?
I was just about to say that to you, bro. If you can back someone up that's bought their stuff by their engagement. So it's all cool to have your 200K followers sitting there, but if you're averaging 5 comments and 500 likes for that amount of followers, you've clearly gone and bought them, because it just doesn't add up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very obvious too. Like, it stands out. Like, I don't see what benefit they get from that, because I mean, if you're a brand and you're looking at people to rep your brand and you're looking at their engagement, like, you want to see good engagement, because those people that are invested in that person or product, whatever it may be, they're the ones that are likely to go on to buy whatever it is that they're promoting for you. So it's like, yeah, man, that engagement is extremely important. And that's one thing that I'm seeing on my page a lot, man, is that my comment section, man, is fucking nuts. Like, it's nuts.
Well, that's what I said to you yesterday, man, when we had a phone call. I said, like, that, out of anything, man, I don't care how many followers you have. I don't care if you got like 5,000. You're backing it up with proper good engagement, and people are enjoying it. And that means 10 times more than anything to do with the following.
So, look, what's next for you? Like, are you going to continue doing what you're doing? Are you looking at sort of focusing more on your online coaching or your modeling? Like, what's your plans?
Well, I've just dropped my own 2 shirts with 2 separate companies, like clothing. So that's something I'm just playing with and testing the waters, seeing how much feedback I get, how many people buy into it. And then if all goes well, which I think it will, I'll just create my own brand. And that's probably something I'll obviously live off in the future if it goes well. Obviously, I'll always do my coaching. So I just want to keep growing that, keep being known as a reputable, genuine coach, and producing good transformations, not only with, the physical, but also the mental. And my podcast, man, like I'm in the same boat as you. I want to see how far I can take it. I could be even living off that in the future. You never know, through sponsors and stuff.
Yeah, man, the opportunities, man, are there. And you know what? One thing I noticed about you from the beginning was that, mate, you're a genuine guy. Like, there's nothing, as I said, we briefly spoke about perceptions yesterday, and people see you, man, you're this fucking buffed up beast and you're covered in tats, and people may look at you and think, oh, form their own opinion without knowing you. But one of the first things that I noticed speaking to you, man, is that you're a genuine guy. And I think,
man. Yeah, that's something I wish. And as you know, it all comes down to judging a book by its cover. And I just wish people would give you that opportunity to actually have a proper chat with you, and then their whole perception would be totally different.
Yeah, man. So look, okay, on that topic, so we had a brief conversation about this yesterday over the phone. So a few years ago, you got in a little bit of trouble. From what I've read online, you were caught with steroids down your pants. Tell us a bit.
Yeah.
Man, there's two sides to every story, man. And look, you know me from my posts, man, I don't trust what the media say at all. So, mate, I'd love to hear your side of the story and get it out there for everyone to hear as well. So what happened, man?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Why not? So basically, as you know, with with majority of people that are into the fitness scene, guys predominantly, they want to get big. That's usually the reason they go to the gym. And it just grew an obsession with me, man. Like it was just an addiction. It's like any drug, it's an addiction. And I was just hanging around, I don't want to say the wrong crowd, but the crowd that I don't want to be around right now. It doesn't suit who I am, if that makes sense. And I just got addicted, and I got conned into, taking steroids because all my friends were on it. So I thought it's the norm. So I just started taking it, and like any drug, man, it becomes addicting. You take a little bit, you see results, you're like, fuck, I'm going to up the doses, and we'll see more results. You know what I mean? We'll look fucking superhuman. And it just got to the point where I was like, it just was playing with my head. Like I wasn't even me, man. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I'm a whole different person now, but I just thought I was invincible. I was just taking gear. I was, I did look good, but it didn't mean shit. Like I wasn't a good human. And eventually, as time goes on, I'm a big believer in, if you're not actually a good person and doing the right things, things will catch up to you. And things did catch up to me. And I've never dealt steroids. That's something I want to say openly. It was all just personal possession. So, it's just my personal possession I was using for me. But one day I had it in my bag, man. And I went to the gym. The reason I had it in my bag is because I was living with my parents and I didn't want them to find it. And on the way home, man, I don't know if this is true or not. They say someone dobbed me in. I don't know how. I think that's a bit of bullshit. But they reckon someone dobbed me in. The cops were waiting. And just before I pulled into my house, the lights turned on and they automatically searched my car, found a few vials, some tablets. And then this is the whole side of the syringe thing is I did have a syringe in my bag. So what I did is it wasn't down my pants. I just put it so it's halfway over my pants and like just sitting in my shorts, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want them to see it, because you can get another fine just for having a needle without a yellow box on you. So I just put it there, man. And then they've blown the article up he's had a syringe down his pants loaded with gear, and it wasn't even capped. And they said other shit, man. He bulks up on fucking honey and banana sandwiches. I've never eaten a fucking honey.
Man,
never fucking eaten a banana sandwich in my life.
That's what I want to tell you about, man, because I was reading that article and the comment that I read said the magistrate said that you should bulk up naturally by eating banana and honey sandwiches. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I don't know a single person. Oh, man.
Yeah, man, I was like, if you genuinely think a honey banana and sandwich is going to get you superiorly jacked, then you're fucked in the head. Like everyone you look at that is jacked, it's because of, enhancements or a long, long time in the gym. And then they try and make it out like I was doing wrong. So why didn't I just eat food to look like this? You know what I mean? They just don't they don't know how it works.
Yeah, man. And look, I've been training ever since I was sort of back in school. I'd skip school and go to the gym, and man, I've been in and out of it for years, man. At the moment, I'm training at home, man. It just works for me. It's quick and easy. Jump out the back, throw some weights around. But man, I've been training for years, and obviously I've spoken to a lot of boys in that time. And look, I think it's because obviously there's different types of steroids that you can take, right? So what exactly did you have on you? Like, what was it that they caught you with?
Yeah, so I had obviously testosterone. That's, for anyone that doesn't know, that's the base of your cycle. If you don't had testosterone, that's when you start to shut down with your libido and stuff like that. So testosterone is the base. Had that on me. I had Masteron. I don't think you probably don't know what that is, man. It's starting to get really lost terminology. But it's kind of like a cutting drug. You call it like a hardener. So it gives you that kind of hard 3D vascular look. Obviously, if you got the right diet too. And then I had some clenbuterol on me. If you don't know what that is either, that's what they use for horses. It helps with breathing. It like opens up the airways. So what it does is basically increases your heart rate and a resting rate, so you burn more fat.
Okay, so by the sounds of that, you're in a sort of a cutting cycle, yeah. So and for the people who don't know, testosterone, as you mentioned, is the base of a cycle, but more to that, it's the primary male sex hormone, right? So it's what gives us beards and broad shoulders and a deep voice and the rest of it.
100%.
Yeah. So look, it's in our body. It's in our body at all times, but the minute you stick it in a vial, it becomes illegal. So
yeah, man.
It's a. I said, look, so you've got other. I mean, there's a list of them I could go on about, but you didn't have a large quantity of it on you. Was it just for personal use?
No, fuck all, man. I had one vial of Masteron, one vial of testosterone, and one tub of clenbuterol.
Okay, look, based on what you said about the fact that when you pulled up, they sort of come up behind you with their lights going, man, I'd have to imagine somebody said something, because that's very unusual for them just to sort of follow someone in and then search their car. So,
yeah. But long story short, so this actually happened 3 times. So I didn't learn my lesson. So,
hold on, you got caught with it 3 times?
Yeah, man. So the article that you read, that was my 3rd offense. So they already knew I had previous history with that. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I reckon they searched my car. So I've actually, so I had steroids in my bag 3 times on 3 separate occasions. And the 3rd time was the last time I got caught and did it and went to court. And that's when everything changed. I just said, fuck this, I'm never going down that road again.
Well, that makes more sense now. So obviously, if you've been caught twice previously to the last time when they pulled up behind you, maybe they've just seen your number plates and gone, fuck, we'll pull him over. He's probably got something on him.
And that's exactly what I said just before this. I said, for someone to dob me in, I think that's a bit bullshit. I think they knew my plates. Okay, this is Jaxon. Let's search his car. So I don't know where they got tweaked in. I reckon that was the media again. Trust me, man, the media just makes up bullshit.
Man, it's bad. And that's what I'm trying to highlight in my posts and sharing a few things. And, mate, what they do to people, and look, some of the things they talk about, there's an element of truth. And what they do is they blow something way out of proportion. And, like, man, I'm sure you've seen that incident at the Sydney protest with the horse where they made out that dude, looks like he dead set gave him a Mike Tyson left hand. And
then you see the video, it's like,
yeah, it's like,
different.
Why the fuck do they don't need to do that? Like, just tell the news. Like, people are interested in the news. Just be honest.
Yeah, man. It's, but yeah, like, so everything you like, if you've read the article of me, everything is like, yes, it's a baseline of what happened, but they've blown it out of proportion and changed it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So they've added bits to it and twisted things here and there, and
they've twisted the fuck out of it.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, like, and as you know, bro, like, I'm not saying I'm just saying for what I did, bro. I know people that are moving kilos of cocaine and this and that. Like, I had fucking 3 vials on me because I wanted to improve my physique, and I get blown out because I've got an IG following and I'm covered in ink, and that's how it blew out, man.
A lot of people are tatted up. Like, you see it everywhere, right? All over social media, everywhere. Everyone's tatted up. And that perception of somebody that's tatted up, it used to be that they're a criminal, like, immediately.
Yeah.
I think that's starting to sort of die out slowly, but you've still got that element there where people go, especially if you've got neck tats and hand tats. Man, the minute they see that, straight away you're a criminal.
As soon as I got my neck tattoo and my hand tattoos, it restricted pretty much every club on the Gold Coast, even some bars and restaurants. And people just look at you like, who the fuck is he? Like is he gonna, steal my kid? Like, it's crazy, man.
Mate, it is. And you know what? Like a few years ago, before doing the work that I'm doing now, I used to be a bouncer at a few nightclubs and pubs around Sydney. And man, most of the clubs had a policy on that. No neck tats, no hand tats. And let me tell you something, man. The ones who I did let in with neck tats and hand tats, man, they never gave me any issue whatsoever. Honestly, nothing.
Yeah, man. And I feel like that with, I'm not saying every single person, but I know a lot of guys covered in ink, man, and they're the nicest guys I've ever met. So just don't judge a book by its cover.
No, and look, you're still going to get blokes that are covered in ink that are fuckwits, of course, but, that applies to everybody, that's not just in that case, but yeah, they need to, man. And that's what I said to you before, that one of the things about you is that you're extremely genuine guy. And I think that's why you're sort of reaching the levels you are with your online coaching and the rest of what you're doing, because you're a genuine guy. Like you're not cocky. You don't sort of carry yourself like a fuckwit. You're very genuine and easy to talk to, just a normal guy.
Yeah, there's no need, man. Like, I don't care how big you think you are or how well known you are or how good you think you look. There's no need to get a fucking ego. Like that's just that's the biggest turnoff, man. And like when I look at people that I used to look up to and then they become and get an ego, I'm just like, fuck that, man. Like, you're rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, why? Like, why not just be a genuine person and give back and be generous? And yeah, I don't know. I also think not many people talk about what I talk about. Like, I know so many people on gear right now that I could say, but they say they're fucking natural. It's like, just speak the honest truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's blatantly obvious. When someone's walking around that's jacked up, it's very obvious. Like, it's so obvious. But you ask them, no. Like, yeah, as I said, man, just be honest. Look, I don't judge anybody for that. Like, if people want to go and abuse testosterone or whatever it is, man, fuck, people abuse McDonald's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can abuse anything.
Yeah.
It's like if someone wants to take testosterone look, they're not hurting anybody. They're not cheating. Obviously, if they're in a sport, it's a bit different. But if they're just doing it for themselves, for their own image, then I really don't see a problem. I don't see the problem with it whatsoever. But
yeah, man, and I got absolutely this podcast. I just want to put it out there. This is not having a go at anyone on gear. That is your personal choice. I myself just want to say I was a fucking shit person on it. So I decided to get off it. I've still got many mates that use it, and I don't condone anything, but I just want to put out the right message that maybe you don't need it. Maybe you might be a better person without it. But hey, if you want to do it, that's totally fine. But even if that's the case, let me try and help you and do it in a better educated way, because you can still do steroids a lot safer than you might have done without the information.
Mate, 100%. And look, I know guys who are sort of in their late 40s, early 50s that have been on testosterone for 20 years because they abused it when they were younger. And as a result of that, as you would know, if you abuse it, what happens eventually is that your body shuts down its own production and you're going to have issues. And I know a few guys that are on testosterone for the rest of their life just to function, like not for anything to do with bodybuilding or just simply to function day to day.
Yeah, man. There's many people, over the age of 40 that actually, majority of people, if they're actually smart, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just bringing your levels back to normal.
Yeah, so it's replacing what you would be making naturally if your body was working correctly.
100%. It's just like, so if you're 50 years old and you have declined testosterone, you're probably going to feel like, shit. You're probably going to feel, like all the things that happen with low testosterone. So all you're doing is bringing it back to how you felt when you were, say, 25 years old.
Yeah, and man, look, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, if it makes someone feel good and they get up in the morning and they feel like, because some people, when they get, as you would know, man, the testosterone starts dropping from, what is it, the age of 40s, is it? Mid-30s?
Oh, man, even younger, I reckon, like, yeah, probably 30, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you won't notice it immediately, but when you get to your 40s and then 50s and then especially obviously in your 60s and so on, you start losing a lot of things that make you who you are.
Libido, you know what I mean? Sex drive, there's a reason why, you're 70 and you're not like, you're not wanting to root every day.
barring up 3 or 4 times a day. Yeah, man, that's right.
It's true, but like it's, you got a very high libido when you're young. That's, you call it horny. And then as you get older, you don't get that. There's a reason why, because your testosterone's lower.
As you mentioned before, man, it's not a dig at anybody who uses steroids, man. Look, I don't care what anybody does really, but as long as they're not hurting anybody and they're sort of make sure they're, because one of the big problems is blood pressure, heart issues. I know cholesterol's another one when you abuse steroids for long periods of time. Look, if someone's using it and they make sure all that's in check, really, man, like who cares? Honestly.
Yeah, man, I got absolutely nothing against and never will have anything against people that are on, performance-enhancing drugs. That's their personal decision. So I just want to try to spread the right message. And if it helps one person, bro, off this podcast, fuck, that's awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that's right. And look, as I said to you, man, there's a lot like whether it be, look at cigarettes, alcohol, all these other things, they kill people every day. Like that's a massive problem in society. Alcohol and illicit drug use. But man, for me, steroids, if you're caught with steroids, especially in your case where it's for your own possession, man, there's no need to even blow it up and make it a story. The only reason it's a story for you is because of who you are and your social media status.
Yeah, man. And that's what I do hate, the fact that other people in society that, yeah, these are the people that they fucking drink every night, they have a cigarette, they eat shit, and then they put the stigma on people that, do eat really good, they do exercise, but they add a little bit of testosterone to their body, and they're giving them the shit. But it's okay for them to do all that other shit, you know what I mean?
Man, that's what I say it all the time. There was some bloke sitting on the lounge with a massive gut with a burger in his hand and just hating on everybody that looks good, really. Oh, look at him. He's like, definitely, he must be on steroids while they're munching away on a hamburger. It's like, man, you can get a very good physique if you do the right things. You don't need to be on steroids to get a good physique. But, man, I think it's that thing is once you start it, it will be very hard to stop.
Yeah, man, it's just like any drug. And this is why you're better off not getting into drugs than getting into them, because I don't care what it is, any single drug, it will become addictive.
Yeah, man, 100%. How old were you when this happened?
So this was only 3 years. Yeah, about 3 years ago. So 22, 23, something around that age.
Yeah, so he's still young, man. So what are you now, 25?
Yeah, no, 26. But I did use, something I also, shouldn't have done, but I did use steroids when I was young. I think I started when I was, probably on 20, which is, I wouldn't recommend that to anyone, but, I played around with it, and I'm just glad I got out of it, you know what I mean? And all the health benefits, the health risks in the long run would have been, very fucked.
When you're 20, man, you do stupid shit. We all do. And I think sort of once you hit your mid-20s, you start thinking differently and you start being more cautious about your health and wanting to do the right things. And it's a different mindset that you have. And what you're doing, man, is awesome that you're raising awareness to the issue and also acknowledging the fact that people are going to do it. No matter how much education's out there, people are still going to do it. So what you're doing is by sort of guiding them and helping them to do things the right way. It's much better than just saying, you know what, fucking don't do it because you're going to have a heart attack, don't do it. Like, people need to be educated because people are still going to do it.
Yeah, man, people are going to do whatever the fuck they want, and that's what people don't understand. You can't change someone's mind. Same when I try help clients. I can give you the best plan. I can give you the best diet. I can fucking sit there and message you every morning and motivate you. But if you genuinely don't want to do it in your head, you're not going to do it. So you can't change what people think or what they want to do, and that's just facts.
Yeah, man. And as you said before, man, nutrition plays a massive part, and also just your mindset. Like, we've all been there where we rock up to the gym, we're like, fuck, I really don't want to be here today. I'd rather just go back home and watch some TV or, fuck around. But Man, it does something to you, man. Like when you're in there and you're working out, even going for a run, even for a walk. I mean, if I'm having a shitty day and I just go for a 30-minute walk, man, my entire mindset changes. Like I'm a lot more positive and optimistic. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, I say that on a lot of my podcasts, especially my own, is just like exercise and whatever it may be, walking, going to the gym, a run. It's not just about your physical appearance. It's fucking way more about your mental and how you feel.
Yeah, man, 100%. And that's what is concerning me at the moment with what I'm seeing around here in Sydney with this lockdown and all this COVID shit that's happening is that, man, people's mental health is, man, it's suffering bad. And what they've done, like obviously they've got a radius in how far you can go to exercise. And well, for fuck's sake, you got to wear face masks outside, which, man, who's going to go for a jog with a face mask on? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like I went for a jog today and like I fucking struggled hard enough to breathe without one on. Like you think I'm going to be able to breathe good with a face mask on trying to run? Like,
man, that's the issue. And you know what? It's like you need to exercise and people need to go, especially now, man, when you're locked at home all day, just get outside, man, go for a walk, carry bags of potatoes around the backyard, fucking do whatever you can to just get some physical activity because that plays just a crucial role. Like it's so important.
Man. And that's why I don't get why this whole COVID thing is a joke because they don't care about our health. Why do they leave bottle-os open? Why do they do this and that? But they shut gyms. It just doesn't make sense. If one thing's open, the gym's open. If the bottle-o, for example, is shut, that's cool. Gyms are shut. But you can't have the opposite of the wrong type of, thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what, man, just earlier today, I was going through because a big list popped up of locations where the virus has been. Like, you got the casual contacts, close contacts. And man, there was a lot of bottle shops on that list. Like I'm fucking talking like every day there was like 2 or 3 different bottle shops where there was a positive case. I'm thinking, man, you know what, if you just shut that down, like to me, it's not essential. You can't possibly say that a bottle shop's essential, man. It's not essential to anybody.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's fucked. It's absolutely, it's putrid.
Mate, it is. It's putrid, man. Like I'm fucking sitting here looking like I've just come out of a cave because I haven't been to the barbers in 2 months. I'm like, man, like, fuck. And all these factors contribute to how you start feeling about yourself and your overall mental well-being. Man, I don't know. Something's got to give, man, because it's just it's too much.
Yeah, time will tell, man.
How are you guys going up there at the moment? Because I know you're put into another lockdown the other day. Does that impact you?
Yeah, no, we're still in full lockdown, man, till Sunday, and then I'm pretty certain it's going to extend. So it's just, I think it's going to be ongoing, like Sydney. To be honest, it's just a joke.
Well, Melbourne went into their 6th lockdown yesterday. 6th.
Yeah, that takes a lot of toll on small businesses and mental health. Like that's pretty full on. Man,
it's bad. You know what? I don't agree with lockdowns, period. But if I was to say, like, if they had to do it, just do it like we're doing in Sydney, man. Just one long period, because you know what, man, when you're opening, lockdown, open up, lockdown, man, it's just fucking with people. It's destroying businesses and it's destroying mental health, people's mental health down there in Melbourne. And there was a protest down there last night, and it was quite full on. And man, people just aren't coping. Yeah, I just I know a guy that owns Doherty's gym down there, and he literally just opened last week, and just gets back into the rhythm, and then back into lockdown. Like, how the fuck are you meant to rebound from that? Man, you can't. And I reckon that's probably more detrimental to a business than just one constant lockdown, because at least then you can say, okay, I've got to figure things out for the next 4 weeks or however long it may be. But yeah, lockdown for 3 days. Oh, we're open. No, lockdown again, another 7 days. Like, you can't. They can't. Like, it's impossible. How do you manage that? Yeah, it's sad, man. It's just I don't really know what to say. It's just it's a really weird world at the moment. Right, it is. And look, it's the main thing is now, like, is, as we've been talking about, is the mental health. And I think I read the other day that Lifeline took, I think it was on Monday, Monday just gone. They had the most calls ever in their 40 years. I'm not got the number on top of my head, man, but it's like, fuck, like, it just, there's nothing, like, they're not doing enough to help. Like, from where I'm, because look, I don't watch their press conferences because it fucking drives me nuts, but obviously I try my best to stay up to date with what's happening, and there's very minimal support in terms of mental health.
Bro, there's fuck all, and this is why I'm so around mental health, and I actually help a lot of pages, and I'm not saying I'm a fucking hero, but I'm just trying to do my part. I'm just, I'm really am trying to just spread a bit of awareness about mental health, and I do say to anyone, like, if you want to reach out to me and have a chat, and I mean it, man. Like, if I don't know you from a bar of soap, I would generally jump on a call with you if it's going to help you, or maybe even stop you from fucking committing suicide, because that's just beyond a joke. Imagine if everyone was doing their little part, and they were helping everyone, and everyone was positive, uplifting each other. I couldn't imagine how fucking good this world would be. Do you know what I mean?
Man, it would be. But we're at a time now where everyone's for themselves. Like, they're only interested in themselves and what they want to do. They couldn't give a fuck about the bloke next door. When I was growing up, your neighbor was like your family. And now it's like, man, you hear it yourself, man, don't trust your neighbor. It's like,
yeah,
man,
100%.
That's the mentality. And if everyone just put in just a little bit, man, like just a tiny bit, whether it be, obviously not everyone's in a financial position to be able to help out, but even just, man, a chat, a phone call, it could make a huge difference to somebody.
Yeah, man. And that's what I don't understand is most of the stuff that I do, it doesn't cost me a cent. Like, I'm not forking out dollars to do this. Like, it's just, yeah, it does take my time, but big deal, man. Like, fucking 20 minutes of this day or an hour of this day, like, it's worth it. I get a buzz off helping people, and I don't know why other people don't, but I get a real buzz when I help someone.
Yeah, man, it's because you're a good guy, and it's, mate, like, you know what? I get, as you would, man, you know what it's like. You get smashed with messages on social media, and I'll like go through message requests, and I'll see one like a week before. It's like, oh, I'm really struggling. Could you give me some advice or whatever it may be, or just have a chat, And mate, I feel bad because obviously I can't keep on top of it. Like, it's impossible. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I genuinely feel bad. Makes me feel like a shit person. I'm like, man, fuck, if I would have just clicked that message and seen it, but man, it's, as I said, man, we can only do what we can do. But if everyone has put in a little bit more effort and use this time where we can't do shit anyway. Well, what can we do? We're stuck
100%,
at home. So.
Like, yeah, and that's why a lot of people have reached out to me, and they're like, I'm not saying COVID's great. I'd obviously rather no COVID. I'd obviously rather no lockdown than lockdown. But when people are messaging me the last week, fucking every day, how are you coping during lockdown? It's like, I'm actually coping great. Like, I'm enjoying, like, I shouldn't say enjoying it, but I'm trying new things, bro. Like, I'm adapting. I'm just changing I've started running, man, for example. I've never fucking run in my life. Like, I just never run. Do you know what I mean? I was always like, fuck that. Like, you'll lose muscle, blah, blah, blah. Bro, if lockdown didn't happen 1 week ago, I would have never run because I would have always just done my gym routine. I started running, man. I swear to God, my mental health it's never been better. Like, the endorphins I get after a run is so crazy. And that's just one example. Like, instead of sitting there and crying because the gyms aren't open, how about adapting and trying something new and see how you enjoy it?
Man, 100%. And I think a lot of people last year when we first went into lockdown, a lot of people were doing that. You're saying, man, like, you don't see anybody walking the streets, and then as soon as we're in lockdown, fucking everyone's out, got their running shoes on, jogging up the street. And, man, a lot of people did that this time last year. And, it's extremely beneficial, but it shouldn't take a lockdown for people to actually want to get up and do something like that because, again, man, no one likes going for a run. Like, no one gets up in the morning and goes, oh, man, I can't wait to get out and go for a run. Like, it can be a burden at times. You think, fucking, I'd rather not do it. But, man, as you said, man, the way you feel afterwards, you can't replicate it with anything else.
Yeah, man, me, myself, right now saying this, every morning I get up and go for a run, I do not feel like it. And that's me. I'm a very strong-minded person. Like, I don't need someone to motivate me. I myself, I do not want to run every single morning I do it. I swear to God, like, I would way rather not run. I physically say to myself, think of how you're going to feel at the end of it, because I know I feel amazing after I finish. It's what? It's 30 minutes. Fuck, 30 minutes is nothing. Like, and after I finish the run, I literally feel like I've completed my day just because I've done a run. So that's what I tell myself to actually get going and do it. And once I've done it, man, I feel amazing. But I feel like that's like everyone in life. It's that initial 5 minutes when they wake up. Should I run or should I not? Their mind just says no, boom, done. And people never fucking do it.
Man, that's right. And I used to go for runs in the morning, man. And where I was living this time last year, man, it was fucking cold. Like, I'm talking, like, most mornings when I was getting out there, it was like -3. Like, it was fucking freezing, right? And I'd get out there, man, and I'd just get it done. And it was hard. But when you get back, man, like, it does the opposite to what you would think. You think, okay, if I go for a run in the morning, I won't be able to get through my day because I'll be exhausted. But man, you're more productive. Like, your brain just works better. I don't know how, but it's just, your brain works better. Your thoughts are clearer, and it's incredible. Really, it is.
Yeah. Oxygen, endorphins, blood flow. It's actually crazy, man. I used to think the same. I used to think if I go for a run, I'm going to be knackered for the day. I'm so energetic, man, after I go for a run. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. And look, if that's just one thing, if people can get out of this lockdown and think, you know what, I just started going for runs or started up, whatever it may be, man. As I said, any type of exercise, even working on themselves, man, like starting to, meditate or read books, whatever. If they can do something like that, that'll help them grow, then that's a positive.
Yeah. And I try to tell everyone, just whatever it is in life, just turn a negative into a positive situation, because there's always going to be negative things. But if you look at it in a negative way, it's not going to make it any better. Like, it's how is it going to make it any better? But if you try look at it and overcome it in a positive way, if you look at, I can't go to the gym, but you could look at it like, I'm resting my body. I'm going to actually attack it in a different way by running, and it's going to shock the body. And then gyms are going to open hopefully next week. And like, if you look at it like a positive, it's just going to fucking change the whole situation.
Mate, I think me and you are quite similar in the aspect where we do look for the positive in every situation. And mate, you've got to. The minute you start thinking negative and you start doubting yourself or doubting whatever predicament you're in, man, that's when you really start going downhill. It doesn't get any better. Like, it's just a downhill spiral. And it could just take one thing, man, just one small change that will turn your life around and give you a more positive outlook.
Yeah, man. That's very good points there.
All right, man, listen, I'll let you go, man. I've got shit to do. It's been nearly on for an hour, man. But listen, great chatting to you, man. We'll do this again for sure.
Yeah, well, I reckon we should do like a segment too in the future. Like, I like doing that type of stuff. Maybe get the listeners to write their questions and we can answer shit like that. But fuck, it's been awesome to, be the first guest on your podcast, and I hope people enjoy it, hey?
Man, I'm sure they will. It's been awesome to have you on, man. But yeah, man, that's a great idea. I was thinking, well, you mentioned it the other day about jumping on Instagram Live once a week or something. But man, I'm blocked. My mate account, I can't jump on live at the moment. I don't know why. I don't know what I've done or what I've said. No, man, I'm serious. That's why when I had that chat last night, I had to use my backup account because for some reason they've blocked me from live streaming. I've never done a live stream ever on that account, not one. But when I went to do it, it said, you're currently blocked. Doesn't give me a reason why, or just that's it.
Yeah, that's bullshit, man.
Fucking crazy, man. Censorship, man. It's out of control at the moment.
Yeah, so it doesn't give you a date you can come back either.
No, man, nothing. It's a very sort of generic message. I don't know what I've done. Like, I know I had a comment removed the other day, and I'm trying to think of whose post it was. I can't remember whose post it was, but man, they'd done something. It was a friend of mine. They'd done something that was funny, and all I wrote was, "You're fucked," with the laughing emojis, which is just, you're fucked. Like, nothing in it, right? It's right. And man, the comment got removed, I thought, fuck, it's going to put a strike on my account. So I appealed it and it come back saying it was bullying and harassment. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Man, I don't get it. Man, it's out of control. And there's no context. So they obviously don't realize that they don't look at things in context. They just go, oh, he said you're fucked. So that's an insult. They're not, it's a big problem, man.
Yeah, soon we won't be able to say anything on our platforms. It'll be just, unless we say we're vaccinated, we won't be able to fucking put a word out there.
Man, that's what it's like, man. Did you hear that? Before I let you go, did you hear that? I think I shared it, Kyle and Jackie O with Pauline Hanson on there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man, how fucking bad is that, man?
Yeah, that's fuck. I couldn't believe that. I didn't know what to think of that.
Man, that's next level. That's like when they said we're having to censor you because what you're saying is going against the government. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? We're not living in North Korea. This is Australia. What do you mean? Like, you can't, like, we all have a right to say something. She wasn't saying anything bad. Oh, it was me.
Yeah, it's
bad, man.
Yeah, funny, man. But yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on, man. I really do. And I'll get you on mine for sure too.
Done, bro. Sounds like a plan. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Cheers, brother.